You're listening to KEXP. We are listener-powered radio at 90.3 FM in Seattle and streaming worldwide at kexp.org. I'm Cheryl Waters, and I think it's fair to say I am extremely excited to welcome this band live to the KEXP studios. It's Belle and Sebastian. So wonderful to have you here.
Thanks for having us. We made it.
You did. You made it. And a brand new album, a bit of previous, and you're going to share a nice assortment of songs with us today.
Yeah, we got a new album, so we're going to play a really old song for you.
Excellent. It's Belle and Sebastian live on KEXP.
My finger dirty at the School of Rock. I got my finger dirty, so I took a walk. I went out to the country park and I hung around till after dark, till the girls got home. Till the girls got home. Did I tell you about the one I know? She's on the rag. Spent the summer day inside her sleeping bag. She spent the summer day inside until it's time to go to work, and she works all night, 'cause the girl's alright. The girls have got her just like a caravan. It's like a holiday whenever you go round. We always have a laugh and then we all get in the bath to save on the lecky bill. Me and Joe and Phil. I had to leave them in the morning. I left the keys around the way. I had to go to work. To leave her in the morning. I left the keys down in the cab. I had to catch a bus. Short of cash, I had to give her some. I didn't really mind, 'cause I was fit for once. We paid the lecky bill, we got the shopping, and we still had some for the cinema. And we all went out. And she asked me, do I need to lose a bit of weight? Said, no, don't be stupid, 'cause you're looking great. We call this drinking jean because the label on a jean says 7 to 8 years old. Well, that's pretty small. 7 to 8 years old. Well, that's pretty small. 7 to 8 years old. Well, that's pretty small. 7 to 8 years old. I had to leave her in the morning. I left the keys around the way. I had to go to work. I had to leave her in the morning. I left the keys down in the car. I had to catch a bus. Okay, thank you so much. It's great to be in Seattle in the shadow of the Space Needle. And I don't know, some of you are watching, everybody's switching instruments. This is Belle and Sebastian. Everybody plays 8 different instruments. I was going to say badly, but we do okay. We do okay. So the next track is a track from the new LP, A Bit of Previous. It's the second track, and it's called If They're Shooting at You.
All I want is for a
You're listening to Belle and Sebastian live on KEXP.
Thank you for that, folks. We feel your applause, wherever you are. So joining us on trumpet today from Seattle is Jay Thomas. We're very glad to have him. And we feel like we know him already. He told us a funny just as we were going on there about the drummer who got sacked from the band for always playing slow. He killed himself. He threw himself behind a train. We got one chuckle. This is a song from... We're going backwards and forwards here. We're going right to the start of the band and then to the present time. This goes back to 1996 from our first album, Tiger Milk.
Lisa knows a girl has been abused. They changed her philosophy in 82. She's always looking for a fight. She keeps the neighbors up all night. I go to her when I'm feeling slack. The girl's using me as a punching bag. I wish that I could help her out. The girl's got a lot to be mad about. And in the first moment of her waking up, you know she's losing it. Oh yeah, she's losing it. And when the first cup of coffee tastes like washing up, you know she's losing it. Oh yeah, she's losing it. Oh yeah, she's losing it. In school, Chelsea didn't feel like following the rules. They left the place for another school, where the boys go with boys and the girls with girls. Chelsea was the one that's been abused. They changed her philosophy in 82. She says inch for inch and pound for pound. Who needs boys when there's Lisa around? But in the first moment of the waking up, you know she's losing it. Oh yeah, she's losing it. And when the first cup of coffee tastes like washing up, you know she's losing it. Oh yeah, she's losing it. And then she goes to the mirror to put on her stuff. You know she's losing it. Oh yeah, she's losing it. And then she doesn't speak to anyone till 4 o'clock. You know she's losing it. Oh yeah, she's losing it. Oh yeah, she's losing it.
So excited to have Belle and Sebastian with us live here on KEXP.
And it's all going to be over so quickly. This is our final number for y'all today. And while the guys shift around again, switch instruments, which is de rigueur, I'd actually like to dedicate this last song to a party of 8 people I met the other night. I came into town the other day and I went up to Broadway to get some dinner. And I went into a Japanese restaurant and the man said he could seat me at the end of a table with 8 other people. And I thought, well, that's okay. If I'll just stay out of it. But I was sitting facing everybody at the top of the table like Dad. And it was like super awkward. And I was like, should I talk or should I not, But I decided not to. I decided to wait to be spoken to. And so I just, if I ever meet these people again, I want to apologize for being the interloper in their lovely evening gathering. So this song is for them. It's called Unnecessary Drama.
letter from before. You've been having so much fun. And is it possible you're just telling me to draw me in? There's an array of douchebags lining up to play their stupid parts. And did you ever pause before you gave your love away? This is my life. This is my so-called life. This is my life. This is my only life. And when you came to me that summer, you weren't just a shell. And you were holding close to mother. She was ashen with the string. And there were miles to go, yeah, miles to build that sister-loving bond. And then I do believe the music set your soul ablaze. And it's probably not surprising that you're burning through the day. And if I had a second uncle, I would probably do the same. And if the intimacy ever stops, I'll miss your stories, miss your letters. Every awkward fumble should be framed. Strange days, poison characters, my particular haze. Please send me more. Enjoy the fervor of your love life, 'cause it doesn't last. And with the suddenness that is cruel, everything can go to hell. But still you find a new path. You leave the old path, you leave the games behind. And on a morning climb, you see the grind. You feel amazed. I know you felt you gave your best, but it was never going to do. There's always gonna be a younger, hungry idol coming through. But then it wasn't thrilling, but just like living, you and me could talk like kissing. Every conversation was divine, divine, divine. This is my life. This is my so-called life. This is my life. This is my only life. This is my life. This is my only life. This is my life. This is my only life. This is my life. This is my so-called life. This is my life. This is my only life. This is my life. This is my so-called life. This is my life. This is my only life.
Woo! Belle and Sebastian live on KEXP. That was fun. And that comes from the new album, A Bit of Previous. And it must feel so great to be performing live again in front of an audience. Not just me.
An audience of one.
In general.
Well, thank goodness you were there, or else we'd just be performing to these light bulbs. So.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm definitely outnumbered here, and happily so. It's quite a production to take Belle and Sebastian on the road. Who's in charge of herding all these cats?
The boss is through the way there, Stevie Dreads. But yeah, somebody pointed out to us the first time we came to America, they took a look at the bus, they took a look at the van and said, "You guys roll big." We roll big.
You roll big. I love it. Well, thank you for rolling through KEXP today. We're long time fans, and we go back to the Tiger Milk album as well and have been following this wonderful journey, and such a fun one. It's been, hopefully for you, as fun for us.
Yeah, it's still going. You still having fun, Stevie?
Oh, yeah.
Well, A Bit of Previous is the first Belle and Sebastian album recorded in your hometown since Fold Your Hands, Child, which was over 20 years ago. And I understand you were meant to record this record in Los Angeles, and things went a little awry. Tell me a little bit how you pivoted and ended up producing yourselves and recording this record in your hometown in Glasgow.
Well, it was right at the time when the pandemic started, and so we didn't do anything for 6 months, and then we decided, oh, this isn't good enough, and this is going to go on for a long time. So it was actually Chris over there on keyboards and a bunch of the guys that decided to rebuild the studio so we could record and make it safe, make it little boxes for us to record, and then we just got to work.
Well, there's obvious advantages and disadvantages in recording in your own studio. If you're renting a studio, there's, of course, the time and the cost associated. But when you are in your own studio, you don't have that intensive time to focus, because, especially if you're recording in your own hometown, because life can get in the way. So how was that experience for you?
I think we're pretty disciplined by that. You don't stick together for 26 years without a bit of discipline. Did you enjoy it, Sarah?
There was no discipline.
What do you mean there was no discipline? You were quite disciplined.
I was okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did show up.
Oh yeah, everybody showed up, but it was nice actually. It was nice to not have the clock ticking all the time and take a little bit more time. And actually, I ended up writing a bunch of songs for it. I mean, most of the record, my songs, I actually wrote specifically when we got into the studio. We threw all the other songs away.
Well, I understand that obviously with a band that's together this long and this size, it's a collaborative process always. But I heard that writing was a little bit more collaborative this time. I mean, speaking of unnecessary drama, was that something you worked on together?
Yeah, that was Bob's fault there. He's standing there. that was his song. And then Chris wrote Come On Home. Sarah's obviously got a couple of songs on there. Stevie's got some, and who was the other? Oh, Talk to Me was Sarah's song that I wrote words for. So yeah, there was a bit of collaboration.
Do you think the record would have sounded different had you gone off to LA and worked with another producer?
Oh, I think
Completely,
so,
yeah. It would have sounded like the Beach Boys, or no, it wouldn't. It would have sounded different because
it would have sounded different, definitely.
Yeah, because you usually try to meet a producer halfway. And you collaborate with the producer, but this time it was all us, really.
The title of the record, A Bit of Previous, to me it conjures nostalgia. Tell me what that title means.
Well, it did have Bob's grimacing here, because it sort of came, well, he was off in Northern Ireland with his family, and he was walking with his dad, and his dad said to him, do you not have a bit of previous with a girl in that house there, meaning that you have a bit of history with so that's what it means in the UK. It means to have a bit of history, but it also could mean that you've been in jail for a while. It's got some dark overtones. But at the time, we were recording a song about reincarnation, because I'm into Buddhism a little bit, and it just seemed like the perfect title, A Bit of Previous.
I love it. And we were sort of a little bit in jail at the time.
Oh yeah, that's right. It did feel like it. Yeah.
Tell me about those early days. You said you took a little bit of a break, but actually you worked on putting together a double live album, so nobody was sitting around doing nothing. What was that experience like? I mean, you've got a lot of songs to work with.
Well, that was super fun, and that the one upside. I mean, everybody looks for an upside for the pandemic time, but we did manage to sift through the live recordings that our crew recorded over the previous couple of years. They did it really great. So
it's probably the only circumstances that would have led us to do that as well, isn't it? Because every time we talked about putting raking through all the live tapes, you just want to keep moving forward, but for once we couldn't. So it was nice to get that job kind of ticked off.
It was fun to get an album during that time. I mean, we were all so hungry for music, and a lot of bands sort of delayed the release of records. Some soldiered through and found new ways to record and did it kind of remotely. Was that ever anything you would consider?
I think that would have been really desperate, wouldn't it, to try and do it by email. I think we really just believed that it was worth waiting till we could all be at least in the same building, if not in the same room.
Yeah, we were really lucky. Once we got in our studio, it was like a doll's house. There was an upstairs and a downstairs. Everybody had their little cubicle, but it still felt like we were together. As soon as you put the headphones on, you're all together.
And how did rehearsals feel once the record was done and you were starting to think about taking it out on the road?
Cramped.
That was great. Yeah.
Suddenly everybody was like, oh yeah, I remember what they smell like.
Everybody looking at each other every time anybody coughed or sniffled or anything. Everybody's like looking. Oh my God, is that a plague victim?
No one's allowed to have allergies anymore.
Yeah.
Well, it's wonderful to have you back out on the road. A bit of previous, the wonderful new record out on Matador. Thank you so much for making time to come into KEXP. We so loved having you here.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And thank you to our wonderful listeners for helping to make these sessions possible. We are a listener-powered station. You can find out more about us at KEXP.org. And you can make a donation if you like and continue to make this kind of discovery possible. And if you'd like to subscribe to our YouTube channel, you can discover so many more bands just like this. Thank you so much for tuning in to KEXP. I'm Cheryl Waters. This is Live on KEXP with Belle and Sebastian.
Yeah, well done, everyone.
Oh my gosh, that was so good.
Discover new music at listener-powered KEXP.org.